Welcome to Twisted Liquid RC Boats. This episode of Twisted Liquid RC Boats is proudly brought to you by Slycat Racing. For all of your RC boat needs, slycatracing.com. Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Twisted Liquid RC Boats. The continuation in our Zippkits A-Box Crackerbox build. Today on the channel, guys, we're going to do the last video of the boat sitting on the work surface. And we're going to do an overall setup video for you guys so you can see the engine and the components we're using in it. You can see the radio box and the components we're using in that. You can get another quick look at the Transom hardware if you didn't catch it in the last episode. And I'm just going to give you a general overall of what I got built here in this boat, because right now she's sitting here ready to run. And the next video I record on this, I want to take it outdoors, hook it up to a water line. I want to give it a test fire before I bring it to a pond. And then it's time to take it out for a maiden voyage. So hopefully today, guys, this is the last video that we record on the work surface with the Zippkits A-Box Crackerbox. The next boat that I want to see right there getting built is the Blazer Marine Louderback Thunderboat. So let's get into today's episode. I'm going to reposition the camera, give you a better view. I'm going to review what we got into the engine, the radio box, the transom, and the general overall setup. We hope you enjoy today's video. Okay guys, now that I got the camera repositioned for you so you can get a better view, I'm going to give you an overall setup of what we got done with the engine in this boat. We're using a Zenoa G260 PUM engine. Now this is a brand new engine that I got from Bonsai Sports when I bought a fiberglass hull off of them a couple years ago. And I've been sitting on this engine and haven't ran it. It is brand new, never been fired. It has a BZ1 mild modification package on it. You can see the engraving sitting on the top of the coil cover right here on the cases. I'm running a Walbro 644 stock carb on it. I'm using an aluminum insulator from Slycat Racing. I'm running liquid cooled exhaust manifold on the boat, a 3-inch head pipe, and a Slycat Racing pipe. I have my overall pipe length set at my girth for 13.5 inches as an initial tuning point. I'm running Gizmo lifetime mounts in the boat, not Zippkits mounts. That meant that I had to do a slight reposition of the rear rubber isolators in order to get the engine to line up with the stuffing tube. I'm using a collet for a Zenoa engine from Slycat Racing, and I'm using a shaft saver and a stuffing tube clamp from Slycat Racing also. Now guys, if you notice, if I move the hose, I got a really tight distance between my collet, my shaft saver, my stuffing tube in my boat. And since I've assembled it, I've ordered myself a shorter collet so I can put this all back together and have a little bit of extra space here for installing my shaft saver. I can get it in there, but it's very tight. So at the moment, we can run the boat with the shaft saver, no problem, but I do have a shorter collet coming, and I ordered another cable in case I need to put another one in it for this boat. That's a general overall view of the engine hardware with this boat. Let me move the camera back to the radio box area, and I'll show you what we got assembled there. Okay guys, now that I got you moved back a little further to the radio box area, I'm going to show you the hardware that I used and the electronics I used in this boat. I'm running all Spectrum electronics like I normally do. I'm using my Spectrum DX4R Pro transmitter to control this boat, And I'm running a Spectrum MR200 marine receiver in this boat with dual antennas. Now, you can't get this receiver anymore from Spectrum, and it's one of the very first ones they made years and years ago. And I can tell you that that receiver is 12 years old and still works perfectly. It's the only used part that I put in here because I had it sitting in my collection of parts and I wanted to just test the boat with it and make sure that it works fine. And that receiver's been in 4 or 5 different boats I own, and I've never had a headache with it. So we're going to test the boat with the old 12-year-old MR200 Spectrum receiver controlling the boat. We have a Futaba S3003 servo put in to control the throttle with. I hooked up a bonsai throttle cable to the boat. It's the way I like to run the throttles on my gas RC boats. I'm using a high-tech HS755 HB large scale servo for my rudder control. And I like to use larger scale servos because they give me extra strength and control the boats very well with the weight of them. Besides that, I have a Spectrum switch put in here, mounted with 2-side tape onto my steering servo, and I have a 6-volt flat nickel metal rechargeable battery pack down in the corner. The Spectrum switch has a charge jack on it, which makes charging really easy. Now guys, as you notice, I used aluminum servo mounts. I got them from Slycat Racing. They're only cheap, they're easy to install, and they make the servos sit very secure in the radio box. The radio box is held down with 4 screws into the stringers of the boat, and it's that strong you can pick the boat up just with the radio box. So that's an overall view of the electronics we have in the boat. I'm quickly going to move you to the transom and review the transom hardware and show you the driveline. Okay, if you guys were around during the last episode, you seen how I reviewed installing the transom hardware on the back of this boat. But just to give you a quick review of the parts that I did use, I used a Speedmaster skeg style strut from Slycat Racing. I used a Speedmaster rudder with a short bearing block from Slycat Racing. And I used 2 trim tabs from Slycat Racing also. Water lines are simple AC Delco windshield washer lines that you can get at any Napa or AC Delco dealer. I've got 5mm fittings going in through the hull, and I've got 5mm fittings exiting the hull on the port side. Now guys, this is a very simple setup. I'm running a Prather S270 propeller just as an initial try on this boat to see how it works. And we have a Slycat Racing 1/4-inch cable up through the 2 tubes in the boat. A 5/16 stuffing tube and an 11/32 stuffing box with the stuffing tube inside of it. Next, I'll give you a quick view of the bottom of the boat and the skeg. Okay guys, I quickly got the boat flipped over on the stand for you so you can have a quick look at the bottom of it. Like I say, 11/32 stuffing box installed in the hull. A 5/16 tube ran down through that with a gradual bend in it. 1/4-inch drive cable. 1/4-inch drive dog, skeg style strut. We have our skeg installed and sharpened. When you're doing this work, take your time. Try and be precise in what you do. If you want to get exact, you can use a straight edge and go against these parts and make sure you're aligning everything perfectly. But take your time and install your parts in your boat and get it ready and set up so it's going to work half decent for you and it's good and solid. We're also running a Speedmaster bushing inside of the strut, so we're hoping that everything should be fine with the bottom of this hull. Next, I'm going to flip the boat over, give it an electronics check with you, and we'll conclude this episode. Okay guys, before I give the boat a quick electronics test with you, I'm just going to give you a quick update on how we got the fuel system set up also. We've got a 18-ounce Dubro fuel tank put in with a couple Velcro straps. If you guys watch this build series, you know that I built a little tiny wooden table out of 1/8 plywood here in the back of the boat, so I could lift the tank up and use the straps to hold it in. It worked perfect for me. Running regular yellow Tygon fuel line, vent, supply, return, and you'll notice we've got a Dubro fuel filter also installed on our supply line to keep the fuel supply to our Walbro carb good and clean. So the fuel system is very simple, but it's going to work very well. I also have the pickup in the gas tank positioned towards the left port side, because this boat will probably mainly be doing clockwise laps, and I've come to learn that the fuel can slosh in the tank, and if it does, it's going to go towards the left side if you're doing clockwise laps. So remember that when you're setting your fuel tank up. I'm not really a lover of fuel bags. I run fuel tanks in my boats, and that's just the way I like to set it up. Guys, like I told you, I'm running my good old reliable DX4R Spectrum radio on this boat. I absolutely love this radio. Ever since I purchased it, it's gave me nothing but exceptional well use. And I cannot complain about Spectrum electronics at all. Right now, once everything sets here, I'll give you a quick view. We have an operating rudder on the back of the boat, no problem at all. You guys probably can't see in there, but I'm using a Traxxas Spartan rubber boot to seal my 440 rod going into my radio box. And that's a rubber boot that I like to use because I find it very durable and long lasting. On the throttle, I got a bonsai throttle cable hooked up with a standoff arm. I absolutely love this setup. I find it gives me precise throttle control. It's reliable, it's long lasting, and it works great. So the radio is set up very simply with an old receiver and all new parts, but everything in here works perfect. If you lose signal with the transmitter, the receiver is set up with its failsafe to go into a negative throttle position. As soon as it gains signal again with the transmitter, it will automatically come back. I can use my trim for my throttle setting. It's a very, very neat and tidy setup that works great. So, having shown you everything that I've got into this boat and the way I've got it assembled, I hope you guys see that I like to take a little pride in the work that I do. I try and do things as neat and tidy as I can, and I believe in setting up a boat well, because if you can set the boat up good on the bench, your chances of a successful maiden voyage are greater. Every little thing that you make perfect in here is one less thing you got to worry about when you start that engine and you throw it in water and run it for the first time. So try and do some neat, tidy work for yourself. Be precise, be exact. Try and do things the best that you can do them, because that's the way that you should assemble a gas model boat like this. Having said that, let's reposition the camera and conclude today's episode. Now guys, I hope you notice, just like the Zippkits SLR missile that I built here on the channel, I've got the Zippkits A-Box Crackerbox all finished and done, and I've got it into a working boat. And I know that it took me a little while to build it and get it all officially done, but I want you to realize this is a hobby that takes time and money. And money being a big issue sometimes, and spending it on this hobby is something that you have to factor in when you're building a model like this. So be patient in doing something if you take a project on like this. It is a long-term project to a guy like me. Just for the sake of building it, being precise in building it and doing it the best of your ability, and also being able to afford it. So don't be in a rush, because if you're not in a rush and you take your time, that long-term project and all of those steps you done, from the very first step of putting a jig together to right here now, 30 videos later, doing a setup video with you guys. Every step counts and adds up. And when you get a couple hundred steps done into your build, I don't care what boat you're building, you're going to start to see results of your work. And as you see results of your work, it starts to get very satisfying and very rewarding. Now the next time that I show you guys this boat in a video, the very next video, I'm going to let you guys hear it run. And I'm going to fire that engine up for the very first time. And even with an initial base setting on the carb, I'm going to bet you guys money that that engine will fire right up and will run decent for me. We'll turn that cable, we'll turn that prop, no problem. And when I put a water line on it, so I know it'll run and idle for 5 minutes or so and work for me, I'm going to be able to bring this boat to water. After that, give it a good maiden voyage and let you guys see all my hard work running in a pond. I can't thank you guys enough for watching this build series. I can't thank you guys enough for your continued channel support of Twisted Liquid RC boats. Even when I'm away from this channel, the numbers are constantly growing. I cannot believe how you guys constantly support this little tiny YouTube channel. And I always want to say thank you to you guys, because I do greatly appreciate the support you give me for what I do and my work that I do here on the channel. So thanks, guys. I want you all to take care of yourselves out there. I want you to have a really good day. And I guess it's time for us to fire that boat up, do it in a video, and then it's time to take it to water. I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like and subscribe. Take care and stay safe.